Welcome back to the Deep Six Wrestling Podcast. It is April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. It's officially the day before WrestleMania. There's been a lot of wrestling already, and there's even more tonight. But we're going to be going through our WrestleMania predictions. It's me and Ryan here.
Hi.
Nobody else is here for the actual predictions, but everybody has done them. So we will be going over everybody's predictions for the show. Hopefully we can get this done somewhat quickly because we still have to watch Ring of Honor later and Impact Wrestling's Multiverse of Matches. And we'll be doing probably a joint review for both of those shows, though I might split them up. But we'll record them together. So keep your eyes peeled because they'll be dropping on the podcast feed and our YouTube channel. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can hear us talk about Bloodsport and preview the Supercard of Honor show. So there's that. And then last night we also dropped Ryan and Angelo's Impact Power Hour with me, Ryan, and Angelo talking about this week's episode of Impact Wrestling, headlined by the Motor City Machine Guns versus Bullet Club, the second match in a series with it now being tied 1-1. So we're likely heading towards a third match at some point. So yeah. Anything you want to add before we start talking?
I'm still your Deep Six champion.
Yeah, so I guess so. We have 2 nights of WrestleMania. We're predicting them both together.
Yeah.
Going in, Ryan is our predictions champion after winning the New Japan Cup.
Baby.
So Joey was the champ. Joey put it on the line. Ryan won. So Ryan is the champion heading into WrestleMania. So he does have our predictions championship. And he has already said that he is fully prepared for WWE to fuck on him with the conspiracy.
Yep. The conspiracy will never end with WWE. I would not be shocked if I go from first to last here just because that would be WWE saying, haha, you don't watch our product anymore? Well, guess what? Fuck you.
Fair enough.
Even though none of us watch the product, but they specifically target me.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I try to keep up with it, just like results and stuff.
Yeah, so you can write your Sportster articles.
Exactly. Okay. Do you want to talk about what we just watched?
Yeah,
first?
we watched Zicky Dice's Outlandish Paradise 2.
I will say you watched more of it than me.
Yeah.
Because I was cleaning the house and I also went to go get lunch.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Overall, I thought this was a very fun show.
Yeah, I would say so.
This isn't going to be like the greatest wrestling you'll see all weekend or even today probably, but this was a really fun show. It was meant to be lighthearted and fun. We had Zicky Dice calling out at the opening, demanding an open challenge, which led to Matt Cardona coming out.
Pause for 1 second before we do this. I was confused. Was there an explanation about the puppet originally?
That's Zick.
Zick.
Was
that on like the other show as well? Okay, because I didn't see the first show.
Yeah, that was him commentating.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's not obviously him.
No, I was just confused about that.
It's outlandish, Pat.
Yeah, okay, I was just confused.
Pat, it's outlandish.
Yeah.
And as somebody who watches Impact regularly, I just want to say the fact that they are not pushing Zicky Dice to be in a more prominent role, because he's very good on the mic. He is very good on the mic.
I agree.
And this is the most we've gotten to see of him talk, really, other than like the random learning tree like backstage segments where like he'd say a few words, or like them incorporating his Twitter game where he was claiming that Brian Myers had torn his scrotum or something. I think that the fact that Impact has him long term, or at least originally had him long term, I assume they see something in him.
I would hope so. I mean, they're giving him his extended thing with Swinger now, so
yeah, and clearly they see like a relationship with him since they allowed their talent onto the show with their themes and everything, and it wasn't like their talent had to go over here either.
No.
Where most of the talent from Impact actually lost matches, other than Cardona, who is he an Impact talent or is he just like an independent person?
I I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same with Chelsea.
Yeah, where
they
have to be like somewhat signed to Impact.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or just like Mickey, where they're in.
I
have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, the main reason we wanted to watch this was because of the main card looking like there were some decently notable matches. We had Lince Dorado, my boy, versus Black Taurus, who I've been very high on for quite some time. We had Mike Bailey versus Effie, which I didn't know how that was going to work out because my only time ever seeing Effie wrestle before was him versus Jeff Jarrett, and that was fucking atrocious. And then we had the main event being Scotty 2 Hotty versus Rich Swann, and of course the match I was most looking forward to, my second favorite women's wrestler, Masha Slamovich, taking on a bear.
You mean Charlotte Flair's not your favorite wrestler?
No, absolutely not. Charlotte Flair is not even in my top 10 of favorite women's wrestlers.
That's crazy. The GOAT.
Okay. So yeah, obviously, kind of a mixed bag here again. Wasn't the greatest wrestling. Mike Bailey versus Effie was a very fun time.
Yeah, from what I saw of that, I caught the last half of it. That was quite enjoyable.
They made it a submission match, and to spoil it for you, Effie won by sucking and licking Mike Bailey's toes and feet. Mm-hmm. And because of the pleasure, Mike Bailey started to tap, and he didn't even realize it. So that was a very fun ending. Masha Slamovich did not wrestle an actual bear, which is very upsetting. She wrestled Max the Impaler, dressed in a bear costume. But this was a very fun match. It's weird that this is the longest Masha Slamovich match I've seen other than her versus Diana when she wasn't signed. Rich Swann versus Scotty 2 Hotty was probably a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be since it was the main event, but it was a fun match. And Lince Dorado versus Black Taurus was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed that. I did see some of the GIFs on Twitter. So
yeah, good to see Mr. Lucha Lit going Lit, all in on the Lucha Lit and now having a stoner luchador gimmick.
Sticky ick.
Yeah, Lince Dorado was fantastic.
I need to know what happened with him and Izzy's dad last night.
I do too. I'm still waiting on story time. Did he?
Check his Twitter.
Yeah. If you don't know, he's been feuding with Izzy's dad for quite some time.
Makes sense.
He then invited Izzy's dad to come fight him at a martial arts tournament a few months ago, and he didn't. But they were both at WrestleCon yesterday, and then Mr. Lucha Lit Lince put on Twitter that he apologized for his actions, and they would explain what happened later.
It does not look like there's been story time yet as far as I can see. But yeah, he...
when did he post this?
So, AJ Francis, Top Girl, was the one who posted a video sharing where the Hitmakers were at for WrestleCon, and showed that he was next to Izzy's dad's table with Izzy.
Yep.
And Lince Dorado retweeted it.
Yep.
And then he tweeted out 16 hours ago, which was at 11:50 p.m. Apologize for my actions and outburst at WrestleCon. Actually, fuck that. It's me, EC Dub. Story time later.
I feel like this could be an April Fool's thing.
It could be, but
like this was a very early because technically.
But again, 11:50. So it would have been 10:50 for them.
Yeah.
So it's 11:50 p.m. here.
That's true.
Also, he seems to genuinely not like this.
Yes.
So I don't know if this would be an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. But I feel like other people would know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, there might be people who've talked about it, or who knows? I don't know.
Anyway, into prediction time here.
So, out of the wrestling you've watched so far for WrestleMania weekend, what has been your favorite thing you've seen?
So I haven't watched that much, honestly.
So some of Bloodsport.
Yeah.
And now Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah, Outlandish Paradise too.
Sorry, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I would say my favorite match so far.
It wasn't really WrestleMania weekend, but Impact was last night, so you can toss some Impact in there too.
No, I don't count that. That was filmed weeks ago.
Yeah, but it's airing on WrestleMania weekend.
I would go with Black Taurus versus Lindsay, probably, or Biff. Biff versus Mox, followed by Black Taurus versus Lindsay.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably go to the. Well, again, I didn't see the Lindsay Black Taurus match, but I'd say Biff and Moxley. Yeah. And AR Fox versus Blake Christian from Joey Janela's Spring Break Part 1 last night. I thought it was really good.
I forgot that was on last night.
Yeah, I watched it pretty late last night. Then there was the...
You didn't watch Planet Death, Pat?
No, I did not have an interest in watching Planet Death, I'll be honest with you.
Did the Deathmatch King come back for it?
Cardona? I don't think he was there.
That's a shame. He should have, because he's the Deathmatch King.
Yeah, but I also got to see the vacant GCW tag title match since Matt Tremont was not cleared to compete.
Oh, they had to vacate?
Yeah, but Nick Gage performed, and he was by himself for the majority of the match until Slade came to the rescue with pizza cutters, and they just started pizza cuttering everybody. But the Briscoes are now 2-time GCW tag team champs.
Oh, okay.
So, and then Mickey James' alley catch was actually pretty good. Okay. So that was all right.
Was it as good as her versus Ruby?
Well, again, I didn't really think her versus Ruby was that good.
Okay.
So I would say better.
Okay.
I'll say it like this is the best Mickey James match I've seen in a while.
Okay.
So, and then the scramble match they had was quite fun, which was Gringo Loco, Jimmy Lloyd, Jordan Oliver, Alec Price, Nick Wayne, Jack Cartwheel, and Ninja Mac. So.
Did Ninja Mac kill somebody?
No, he did not kill somebody.
That's a shame.
I did not see Janela versus X-Pac or Moxley versus AJ Gray, or Alex Colon versus John Wayne Murdoch, because I was too tired. So, but yeah, so that was Spring Break. I will watch Spring Break 2
tonight,
tomorrow morning, basically, because it is tonight. But like, we're going to be watching Impact. Yeah. But I always, again, it's the greatest clusterfuck. It'd be hard to pass up on that. Let's just, before we do the predictions, let's just run down the card for that. Part 6 to...
I know we've got Cardona versus Dickinson.
So we have Minoru Suzuki versus Effie. Mike Bailey versus PCO.
Hold on, Mike Bailey's wrestling 4 times today?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Chris Dickinson with Missy Hyatt versus Matt Cardona with Chelsea Green. Tony Deppen versus Biff Busick, and the greatest clusterfuck.
Deppen versus Busick should be really good.
Yeah, this whole card actually sounds pretty good, so I'm actually excited for this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's get into this.
Yeah, let's do this.
I should ask. Who do you think's gonna win the clusterfuck, Pat? Do you think Sean Ross Sapp has a chance?
No, I don't think Sean Ross Sapp is going to win.
That's a shame.
So yeah, but yeah, that's that. Okay, WrestleMania 38. We have 2 whole nights to predict here, so we'll just jump right in here. Oh, God. Kicking things off, we have Seth Rollins versus TBA, which is a mystery opponent, and I see that I am the only one who went for Seth Rollins here to win.
You can explain.
Yeah, I explained my reasoning in our group chat. It's not like I'm sold that this is the case, but I just think that... see, it's interesting because I chose... Spoiler alert, I chose Shane McMahon for his opponent, but then if it's Shane, I think Seth wins.
Yes.
But... I've come around and think it is Cody, and if it's Cody, I don't think Seth's probably going to win. Yeah. But I do think there's a chance that Seth wins because looking back to Sting's debut match for WWE, which again is different circumstances but somewhat similar, he lost his debut match at WrestleMania to Triple H in a match that was literally just WWE versus WCW. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a lock that Cody would win this match. Yep. So I went with Seth Rollins. But again, I'm not totally sold on it. Regardless, it is what it is, and I've made my bed.
Yeah. I went with the idea that it's going to be Cody. I'm not completely sold that it is going to be Cody.
Okay.
I think if it's anybody other than Cody, Seth wins. And if it's anybody other than Cody, then Cody shows up Monday.
Yeah, I agree.
The reason that I think if it is Cody, Cody definitely wins is because I think WWE are going to treat this very similar to where if you came over from WCW, for the most part, originally when the war was still going on, they treated you with some sort of respect.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to convince other people that, hey, if you come over, we're not going to belittle you, we're not going to make you a joke, we're going to treat you seriously, we're going to make you a star.
That makes sense, but I can also see...
Especially with, I think, WWE wanting to go very hard at MJF in 2 years.
I don't think they'll get MJF.
I don't think they will, but I think this, like, they're going to try to court as many people as they can.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We'll see how it plays out. But I don't know. Very interesting. I don't see MJF working well.
No, I don't either.
Like, he'd be a good wrestler, but like he would just be the Miz.
Yeah. But if you want to go like if MJF wants to go money wise, because they would give him a shit load of money.
No, 100%.
Then I don't think AEW would be like we're gonna try to match like Cody money for MJF.
We'll see. Again, it all depends on where the company is in 2 years.
Yeah, so that's true. And where MJF is in 2 years as well.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody else went for mystery opponent. I am on Seth Rollins' island.
Do you want to just go with the mystery opponent now, since we said R2?
I can skip to that real quick. Let me get that up.
Because as always, we do mystery questions bonus questions, and one of them.
I can tell you the only answers we have are
Shane and
Cody.
Okay. Are you the only one with Shane?
No, I'm actually not. Somebody else chose Shane.
So somebody else chose Shane, but also chose...
I don't think they were thinking.
Okay.
It was Jake. Jake also chose Shane McMahon.
Honestly, I could see Jake thinking Shane McMahon would win.
Maybe. The rest of you have gone for... We have Cody, I guess, which I think is Joey?
Yeah, that ain't me.
That's Joey. Joey did Cody, I guess. Then we have Cody Rhodes from you... Rob and Sam, and Angelo has put in Cody Stardust Rhodes.
Okay.
So if he comes out as Stardust, maybe I'll give Angelo 2 points.
Good. If he comes out as Stardust, I think there's questions.
That'd be something special. All right, moving on. So that was just to specify. So we are on night one. So this is all night one stuff.
Yeah.
The SmackDown Women's Championship match. The match that everybody kind of assumed was going to be the actual main event, but now it doesn't look like that is the case. Charlotte Flair defends against Ronda Rousey. Since I went first last time,
I went Ronda, and I'm not happy about it.
I also went Ronda.
This is a match I do not care about.
I don't care either.
I think that if somebody's gonna get a good match out of Ronda, it's Charlotte. But I don't think anybody cares about Ronda.
No, and I think that even if we were actively watching SmackDown every week, I don't think we would be excited for this.
No, like we weren't excited when she showed up.
No, because we knew she was going to win the Rumble as soon as she came out.
And I think that I would have been a little bit more excited, not much more excited, but a little more excited if it was her versus Becky, just because there's an actual story with it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that this new story is that Ronda wants to make Charlotte tap, and Charlotte is claiming she has never been submitted before, which I don't think is true. Like, she's never been submitted.
I don't know.
I just think that's a weird storyline to go with. It's not... Like, if she has been submitted before, it's not unheard of WWE just, reshuffling the deck and being like, we're just going to rewrite history real quick. They've rewritten history with Charlotte's title reigns numerous times. So makes sense, but at the same time, it's just weird that they do this for somebody who's supposed to be the babyface, or somebody who's supposed to be the heel. But I think more people would prefer Charlotte to win than Ronda, and I don't think many people want Charlotte to win either.
No, I don't.
They've worked themselves into a corner where nobody cares about who wins this match.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good match because again they're both good, but I don't care, which isn't a good thing when this is like one of your marquee matches.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I was a little distracted there because I have the GCW for the Culture show up, and it's just so weird seeing Hit Row in GCW. They lost to Shane Taylor Productions.
That's good.
Charlotte Flair has been chosen by one person, and it is Angelo.
Yes,
So,
which he explained on the podcast last night.
To us, that wasn't on the actual podcast.
Oh, it wasn't on the actual podcast?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, because I'm pretty sure I cut.
Okay. But yeah, his
It would make sense
reasoning
to
was that he thought that the story was that Charlotte was going to be able to beat Ronda or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was a weird thing that I was like, I don't think that is the story that they're going with.
Maybe it is, but I don't watch, so maybe Angelo is in the know.
Because Angelo did watch
That is true.
the other night, so he has watched more main roster than we have.
The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods take on the team of Ridge Holland and Sheamus with Butch in their corner. I think that I would have chosen differently on this if Butch was wrestling.
Oh.
See, if Butch, because if Ridge wasn't in this and Butch was in, I would have chosen Sheamus and Butch because it would have been a bigger thing. But because it's Ridge and Sheamus, and this literally just feels like a match that would be on SmackDown because it is a match that has been on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I have gone for the New Day to win here. It's just a good babyface moment.
Yeah.
I will say Jake, Joey, Sam, and Rob have also gone for the New Day. So you and Angelo have Ridge and Sheamus.
Yeah, and my reasoning is Butch is at ringside.
Yes, he is.
There's a third person at ringside, and you know who the New Day don't have at ringside.
They don't have Big E.
They don't have Big E. So unless Big E randomly shows the fuck up in a neck brace,
I don't think he is. I don't think he'll be on the show.
Then the numbers advantage is going to be in the Fight Boys from the UK. That's what I'm going to call them. I don't know if
Blinders?
they are not Peaky Blinders. They do not wear Peaky Blinders outfits.
They wear caps.
Anyway, I think Butch is the reason that...
I think Butch is just, if he's gets involved, I think he's just going to get murdered here. I don't think he's going to be a big deal.
I don't know.
He's been saddled with the name Butch.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you.
I can't believe that they've done this to Pete Dunne.
I'd say I couldn't believe this, but they gave Walter the name Gunther.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
And changed it to, I wanted to change my name to be the patriarch of my family, which was my grandfather, which isn't a patriarch, that's the grandfather. Patriarch is father. So
the patriarchy is male, so.
Yeah, but the patriarch of a family is the father.
Well, I mean, his grandfather was his father's father, so.
Maybe his father wasn't in the picture. Maybe
I don't know.
So that would make sense. But anyway, they decided to give this man way too much depth, and it wasn't necessary.
No, and it also just is a really wacky name.
Yeah, and it also is very weird that we all know what they were originally trying to trademark for it.
We do. Okay. So we know that. Okay, moving on. We stay on SmackDown for another tag team match. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos, representing the Bloodline, taking on the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Another island pick here. Joey has gone for Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs, while the rest of us have gone for the Usos.
Yeah. I originally went with Rick Boogs and Shinsuke, really? And then
Any reason why? Because
I like Rick Boogs.
Okay.
I'm a big Boog head.
You're a Boog head.
I don't know what they call his fans. If this was Shinsuke where they actually took this man seriously, I'd say Shinsuke 100%, but they don't take this man seriously. They gave him a gimmick where he stole a crown and somehow is just like, yep, he's the king now. And you gotta go all in on this. They gave him Rick Boogs, a very goofy individual, to play him out to ringside.
For reasons.
And then now Rick Boogs and him are a tag team, and it's very odd. Rick Boogs is somewhat impressive. He was pretty good in the Rumble, I thought. Pretty good.
I don't know if I go that far.
I like his look. I didn't know he was that muscular. But I think the Usos, I don't think Rick Boogs is the one to dethrone the Usos' long-ass title reign.
No, I also just, I don't know, I just don't think it, I don't know. This wasn't a match where I went back and forth on, but
Yeah.
like at the same time, it very well could be Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura because it's such a nothing match.
Yeah.
Like literally this past Raw, they had, the main event of Raw was RK Bro versus the Usos, which is a bigger match than either of them have at Mania.
Yeah.
So, thrilling. And from one nothing match to another nothing match, Drew McIntyre's WrestleMania moment comes against Happy Corbin, who he faced in a 2-on-1 handicap match this past week.
Can we just talk about how Drew McIntyre went from back-to-back years of being in a world title picture at Mania to facing Happy Corbin?
I've seen like the excuse is like that Drew was like injured and now this is what he got, but like you could have done something else. And no, he doesn't have to be in the world title picture.
I'd even go further. This is such a downgrade from Drew since he's come back, because like the Mania since he's come back was Roman.
Yeah.
Title picture against Brock, beating Brock clean, losing to Lashley in a pretty good match.
And this.
Happy Corbin.
Yeah, you could have very easily done like a multi-man U.S. title match and put in like Balor, Priest, and McIntyre. Oh wait, no, McIntyre's on SmackDown. McIntyre could have been in an IC match. There were other ways to do something with this.
Yep.
But this is a singles match, and all of us have gone for Drew McIntyre to beat Happy Corbin.
Anyway, speaking since you brought up the U.S. title, I don't know if you saw, but a certain Damian Priest did an interview today saying that he will be in action at Mania because he is not going to be sitting in the back because he deserves better.
Well, maybe this has to do with the Edge group.
Yeah, the Edge group.
The Edge group. For those unaware, Fightful put out a report that there's a new faction debuting in WWE imminently called the Edge Group, which is supposedly going to contain Damian Priest and Edge. So maybe Damian Priest cost AJ the match.
Yeah, maybe. Also should note that Fightful has and Sean Ross Sapp have both put out that there are no April Fool's jokes for their stories that they report today. So
yeah,
this is a real thing.
I have a feeling it won't be called the Edge Group.
No.
I'd hope not. If it is, then that's just like.
I mean, they can't do. I mean, they can do the new Edge heads.
Yeah, no, they can do the Edge Appreciation Society.
Don't give them ideas. Yes.
The Mysterios versus The Miz and Logan Paul. This is significantly more split than I thought it was going to be. I'll take the lead from my side. I have 4 people here. Myself, Joey, Rob, and Angelo have gone for Rey and Dominic Mysterio, the Mysterio brothers.
Brother. I love how you keep on calling them brothers.
That's just what they are to me. Yeah, I just think the baby faces win here. From what I understand, the story of this is that they haven't been able to hit the double 619 on Logan Paul because the Miz keeps pulling him out. So I'd assume the spot they're going to build to is them hitting the double 619 on Logan Paul and getting to pin Logan Paul. Yeah. So that is where I went with this one.
Cool. 2 things. 1, Logan Paul has stated this week or last week that he plans on sticking around the WWE for the long haul.
That doesn't mean he has to win.
Yeah. 2, commentary this week, because I stuck with Cultaholic and watched their predictions. Commentary this week talked about how Dom hasn't gotten a mask yet because Ray doesn't believe he is worthy enough to get a mask yet. And that's...
I didn't know that was the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, they've already done the unmasking of Ray, and Ray took the mask back.
Yeah.
And Dom looked like he wanted the mask from it, and Ray didn't give it to him.
So you think?
I think he goes heel finally.
So do you think that
And he takes the mask from Ray.
Do you think he would become a group with Logan Paul and The Miz?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ!
I'm not going the route of Cultaholic where they want Dom the influencer.
Oh no!
To start appearing on Logan's podcast and being his new best friend.
That would be something.
But I think that he's going to leave Ray here.
Okay.
And it'll set up a match at down the line for SummerSlam, which I think will be the retirement match of Ray.
Not WrestleMania Backlash, which is
no. I don't think that Ray's going to retire at WrestleMania Backlash.
No, that would have been where
it's either that or he ends up retiring Ray at Mania next year in California.
I think that would be more fitting.
Yeah. I don't know where SummerSlam is this year. If it's San Diego, then I'd be it's a shoo-in for that.
It is at Tennessee.
Okay.
So no, that'd be very random.
I don't know. It's a big thing.
The people.
No, it's gonna be TLC in Saudi Arabia.
Oh no! The people who also have The Miz and Logan Paul are Jake and Sam. So split on that one. I was not expecting that one. And
you thought more people on your side?
I thought it was going to be a clean sweep for Ray and Dominic. I'm gonna be honest with you. Another match.
I believe in Logan Paul.
Okay, this one actually is not as split as I thought. But we go to the match that I think most people would say is the one that they're most looking forward to, and what most would accept as the proper main event, which is the Raw Women's Championship match, a rematch from last year's SummerSlam between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. You want to go first?
I went with Bianca Belair because there's zero reason why she should lose again to Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Becky's reign has gone on long enough. The only downside is that they've already kind of given away a spot for this show where it's obsessed about hair, and how Becky thinks that Bianca's braid should be banned because it's a weapon, which it is, and she keeps on coming out with scissors, and this week Bianca cut Becky's hair. So I think that Becky is going to try to cut Bianca's braid, and maybe it happens and Bianca can't win because of that, but I think that it should be Bianca wins without the braid, showing that she doesn't need it to win, wins, and then doesn't go back to the braid because the braid is stupid.
Okay. I've gone for Becky Lynch to retain.
Okay.
I don't think both of the women's championships will change hands. So if Becky retains, I think Ronda wins. If Charlotte retains, I think Bianca wins.
Okay.
I think what I would assume is going to happen is that they're going to do hair versus title at Backlash. I think that you have Becky here put up her title on the line, and Bianca has to put her hair on the line at Backlash. And then Bianca wins. I don't think it's the best decision. No. Because Bianca should win at Mania. Yeah. But
she technically already had a WrestleMania moment last year.
So I've gone for Becky here. And again, you do need some matches or some feuds to be extended to WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah. So this is the one that I would do. But again, you could also go the other route where Bianca wins and Becky says, I'll put my hair on the line if you give me a title shot, since Becky's so obsessed with her hair now. Yeah. But I also think she already has debuted a brand new hairstyle. Yeah. So I don't think she's gonna go back to back.
She's gone back with that really bright orange hair again.
And then it's just styled differently too. So again, I don't think she's gonna go back to back. So that's why I think that they could do this way where Bianca has to put her hair.
That's fair.
Sam is the other person who's gone for Becky Lynch. Everybody else has gone for Bianca Belair, so cool. There's that. And then what I have listed as the main event here, but is not a match officially, the KO show with Stone Cold Steve Austin. This first question is in regards to, if it is a match, who do we think wins? Ryan, myself, Joey, Sam, and Rob have gone for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Angelo and Jake have both picked Kevin Owens.
Bold move, Cotton.
That is a bold move. I will skip over to our bonus question about this one, which is Will it be a match or will it not be a match? Jake has said it will not be a match. Joey has also said it will not be a match. Rob and Angelo have said it will not be a match. You, me, and Sam have said it will be a match.
Okay.
So that one is split.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand the idea of having Owens win if it does become a match, because I do think that this will be the way that you can be like, okay, Austin's career is officially done. Because
yes,
Austin has said, like, I guess it was this week or last week again, that he wanted to, like, if he ever came back, he'd want to do it on his terms so that he could retire, or, like, without, like, just going off.
Yeah.
And normally you go out on your back if you're leaving. But I don't know. I feel like you don't hype this up so much just to be like, okay, we're just going to have a match. I don't think it's going to be a very long match. I think it's going to be in tune of The Rock versus Eric Rowan, where it's a very short match.
It's not going to be 6 seconds. I think it'd be like close. I think it'd be Cena The Rock, where it's like 2 to 5.
You mean Cena
Taker?
That's fair.
I think they both had a couple moves.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that I think if this is a match,
yeah,
I think we see more Stone Cold. I don't think he's like full-time wrestler, but I think they would start using him like how they use Taker, where he's a special attraction who they'll bring out a couple times. Because if he's in like good enough shape, I think that they know that would be a big draw, like, especially because you don't have Taker now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
that's fair.
So that's night 1. So now we go to night 2.
Woo!
The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line in a fatal 4-way with Queen Zelina and Carmella defending against Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, Sasha Banks and Naomi, and Shayna Baszler and Natalya, much in the same vein as last year's Gauntlet match with the women's tag titles. Only 2 teams have been chosen here. Not shocking at all.
Both the babyface teams?
Both the babyface teams. Yep. Jake, Ryan, and Joey have gone for Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
And myself, Sam, Rob, and Angelo have gone for Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Yep.
Since I chose Ronda Rousey to win the title from Charlotte, I'd assume that program continues. So Sasha's going to need something to do. So I think putting the titles on them makes the most sense.
Cool. I don't. And my reasoning is Sasha Banks has never won at WrestleMania.
This would be,
There is no reason that her WrestleMania moment should be her winning a tag title that the company is very adamant, basically, that they do not care about. That would be a really shit thing to do, to be like, here you go, you finally got your WrestleMania moment. It's a title we don't care about.
I mean, she can, this doesn't need to be her only WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, but it's her first WrestleMania moment. Normally your first WrestleMania moment, especially when they like hype up this streak of always losing.
Yeah, I mean,
it should be a singles win.
But it is, at least it's in a title match. It's not like it's not she's in there with nobody.
Yeah.
Like there's other people. It's not like she's Lashley with a loss.
Anyway, I think that Liv can get her WrestleMania moment here, because I think this is as high as they see her ceiling, is as a tag team competitor. The crowd really likes her. She had, like, I think there was a handful of people who thought that she was going to win the title last year, like the women's title, not the tag title. She didn't have that, but like she definitely got more fans off of that. So I think cap off her run with the tag title win here.
I think her ceiling's higher. The fact that she's had multiple championship opportunities, I think she'll eventually probably win the title. I don't think it'll be soon, but for right now, I think that this is where she's going to sit for a while. So I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. And Rhea her stock has gone down drastically, so fair enough. Anything goes match. I am befuddled by this one. Myself and Sam are the only 2 people who chose Sami Zayn to win this match. Everybody else has gone for Johnny Knoxville. So you think that Johnny Knoxville and Logan Paul, the 2 celebrities, are going to win. Also, spoiler, you also have Pat McAfee, so you have all 3 of the non-wrestlers winning. Okay.
My reasoning for Johnny Knoxville is, Pat, what type of match is this again?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, the entire Jackass cast is getting involved here.
And why would a wrestler, person who wrestles for a living want to go against somebody in an anything goes match where wrestling is not required to win?
Yeah, I guess so.
It goes to Johnny Knoxville. He's the baby face. Everybody, I think this will be a fun bit of madness, and it doesn't hurt Sammy's stock to lose to Johnny Knoxville.
Absolutely not.
Knoxville, I think this is going to be. This could be one of the most fun, entertaining things of the entire WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, probably.
We saw in the Rumble, Knoxville is not afraid to just let everybody let loose on the man.
I mean, that's not shocking. Look what he's been doing for the last 20 years.
Yeah. So I think there's a very good chance that this is something that goes throughout the show. Like, they could do this where it's just like, hey, this is just going to go throughout the show, and they set up, like, the spot, like, jackass stunts in the back or something.
I don't want that. I don't want an entire show of just this.
I think it could be a fun thing.
I think just send him out for, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah. But I do think you're going to see most of the jackass crew come through. Probably not, like, Bam, obviously.
Well,
but
he's not part of Jackass anymore.
But, like, I could see Steve-O making an appearance.
Yeah, again, I think you'll see the majority of them.
Yeah. Maybe do some of the crazy stuff that they've done in the past on him. I don't think they're going to bring out a live bear.
No, I don't think so.
Or a bull to...
No, I think they're safe.
Yeah, I think that Johnny Knoxville should win this.
You think he should?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think it's a very fun moment. Again, Sami Zayn clearly is fine with his position. Again, losing to Johnny Knoxville, while it's silly, I don't think it's like, oh man, they've ruined Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, this feud has been very enjoyable from what they've done with it.
Yeah, that's fair. Excuse me. Edge versus AJ Styles, probably the match that likely will be the best wrestling match on night 2.
Yeah.
I'd assume. Although, there's a couple others that could take it. But
yeah.
this should be up there by all means.
Or the next one.
No, not the next one. Jesus Christ, no. This is actually split. You, me, Sam, and Rob all have Edge.
Yeah.
Jake, Joey, and AJ Styles, or not Jake, Joey, and AJ Styles. Jake, Joey, and Angelo all have AJ Styles. So I can't speak as to why they chose them, but Edge just turned heel. This is a feud that, again, I can see them extending for a while. And Hell in a Cell is no longer in October, so I think that this might get extended until Hell in a Cell for this payoff. So
do we know when Hell in a Cell is?
Hell in a Cell 2021. Sometime, I want to say like June or July.
In 2022?
Yeah. Hell in a Cell is June 5th.
Okay.
So, with the way WWE does feuds,
you can have especially Edge feuds.
Yeah.
Edge feuds have basically all been very drawn out feuds.
And you can very well like write AJ off for a couple weeks to extend it without doing anything. But I can see them very much saving this to pay off in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
So, but I say Edge wins the first one.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. I think this is a long-term feud. I did not know where to go with this, but I figured that if there's going to be a match that ends in a DQ, this is going to be the match that ends in a DQ. And I don't know why I chose Edge if it was going to be a DQ, because he'd be the one DQing himself, basically. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know. I just think Edge... makes more sense. Give him his Mania win here, and everybody can be happy. I mean, he's a heel, but everybody loves Edge. Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if he has a special entrance.
Yeah. And his group. Maybe his group shows up.
Maybe Edge group shows up.
Edge group. I really hope they call it.
The dream match of the century that puts Ryan on an island. Omos versus Bobby Lashley. Ryan, you can explain why you chose Omos and the rest of us chose Bobby Lashley.
So I thought that more people would choose Omos.
I don't know why you thought that. This is Lashley's return match.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
And like the big thing that they did on Monday was they hyped up how
nobody's taking Omos off his feet,
and
and
immediately
Bobby did it.
Yeah.
So that's the WrestleMania moment. They already wasted it. It's not special if he does it now.
Yeah, I just think he's gonna beat him.
So the only way I can see Bobby Lashley win is if he's gonna do something more stupendous than
he's doing a Canadian Destroyer.
Than that. And the only thing I can think of is that he's gonna body slam Omos. But this man just is coming off of major shoulder surgery, so I don't think he's gonna be able to do that.
I just don't want Omos to win.
I don't want him to win either, but I feel like Omos gets this. He's a bigger heel than he was before. And you know what? They're going to need a new world title for Raw soon. So they can give him the most stupendous championship. That can be the new name of the Raw world title.
I don't think Omos comes anywhere near a world championship.
Oh, that's what you think now.
The Raw Tag Team Championship match. Three-way. RK Bro defends against the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. We have a split here.
Oh, man.
Angelo, Sam, and Joey have gone for the champions retaining, with RK Bro walking out on top. And the rest of us, Rob, you, myself, and Jake have all gone for the Street Profits, who have become de facto heels.
Yep.
I just think that this might, start planting the seeds for the turn.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, you just established that the Street Profits are like newly bad guys, so give them the titles.
Yeah. It pained me to choose Angela Dawkins.
I mean, you didn't have to. You could have chosen Alpha Academy.
No, but I think that I didn't know that they were heels until this week.
Yeah.
When you brought up that they attacked RK Bro, and I was like, why the fuck did they do that? Are they heels? And you were like, yeah, I think so. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe Angela Dawkins has more character as a heel. I don't know. I like Montez Ford a lot. I know him and Bianca have both done interviews saying that they want this Mania to be the Mania that they get to finally celebrate both being champions at the same time. Obviously, they wouldn't do it in ring together, but I think it'd be a cool thing to be able to acknowledge.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine.
Okay. Fair enough. This sets us off to our other special attraction match, another Vince McMahon match with his protege Austin Theory taking on the Smackdown commentator Pat McAfee, former star of NXT.
And former Colts legend.
Yeah, Jake, myself, Sam, and Angelo have gone for Austin Theory. Ryan, Joey, and Rob have gone for Pat McAfee. Mm-hmm. My explanation for Austin Theory, they've been building him up since November when they first paired him up with Vince after Survivor Series. I think it'd be kind of weird for him to lose in this match that was basically just given to him by Vince to, prove himself at WrestleMania and lose to Pat, who's a commentator. And I don't see Pat stepping away from commentary, so I don't think he needs the win.
What would this win prove for Austin Theory if he beats a commentator?
It's the WrestleMania win, the fact that he beat somebody at WrestleMania.
I don't know if you know this, but the last time a commentator wrestled at WrestleMania, who wasn't considered a wrestler, he won.
Yeah, I mean, Pat McAfee's wrestled multiple matches.
Yeah, but he's not considered a wrestler.
Oh, okay.
I think that
he's done more games, buddy.
Yeah, well, that's NXT Black and Gold. That's not a thing anymore, bub. And I don't think they've ever talked about that on the main roster.
I don't know. I don't watch.
But what they have talked about is Vince McMahon's son. Mm-hmm. And Shane McMahon is supposedly back in Dallas for WrestleMania. And I think that Shane McMahon is going to cost Austin Theory this match.
Oh.
And set up a feud.
That sounds awful.
Leading up to Hell in a Cell.
That also sounds awful.
I think that...
Wait, so Shane is going to be a babyface?
No, he's going to be a heel.
But Theory's a heel.
Yes, Theory's they're going to compete for their daddy's love.
So it's going to be two heels competing for Vince's affection.
Austin Theory's gonna be like, oh man, what do I do, Vince? And Vince is gonna be like, you've gotta win the big one, Sonny.
I don't think so.
Or you're fired.
I don't think this is going to happen. They've been spending too much time building Austin as a heel.
Yeah, well, guess what? All good things come to an end.
I don't agree with this one at all.
That's what I think's gonna happen. Is Shane screws Austin. It doesn't have to affect Pat, because Pat didn't call this in. It was just like Shane's sad that his dad doesn't love him anymore, so he's gone crazy.
This actually sounds like one of the worst storylines I've ever heard.
There you go. There's my thing.
Okay, main event time.
Book me as your next writer, Vince.
No. Winner takes all WWE Universal Championship match. Every single person has gone for the big dog, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, to retain. I'm actually shocked. I thought some people would have chosen Brock. But here we are. So Roman retains, and we get another year of him as champion. And then he faces Dwayne.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is going to be a fine match.
Yeah, their WrestleMania record isn't great. Their first match at 31 I really enjoyed.
Yes.
Then at 32 I thought was awful.
Yes.
Or no, not 32, 34.
Yeah.
32 was Triple H and Roman.
Yeah. Which wasn't great either.
No, that also was not good. So
that was like the string of Roman matches where it was like, wasn't great years. Because him and Taker wasn't great either.
I thought him and Taker was better than I expected it to be.
It wasn't great.
Roman carried him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have anything to add. Just Roman wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that we're getting a really long reign.
No, it's not. It's every single time we tune in, it's always the same match. It's like Roman wrestles one style, and it's very boring right now.
I'm just very confused on what the point is of building it up to him versus Rock, because are you really going to have The Rock beat Roman Reigns?
No, I don't think so.
So then we're going to get another year?
No, like, not necessarily another year, but I think he'll lose it sometime after that. Or I guess like right before it, maybe.
I don't know, man. I think that Brock will probably be in line to take another break after Mania. So, yeah. I don't think you want to give 2 belts to somebody who's not going to be there full time.
No.
And that would be very silly if Brock gets them and then disappears.
That's fair, but for what it's worth, Brock is advertised for the next several pay-per-views.
Is he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I know he's at least. I think he's advertised for Backlash and then whatever. I guess Hell in a Cell, maybe. I don't know, but he's advertised for more things. So. Maybe, it does kind of put it in his favor.
Yeah, maybe Brock is...
That would be such a fucking waste if it's Brock.
Yeah, no, it would be. No, I was going to say, maybe Brock's just coming back for one last rodeo.
Maybe, I mean,
since he's a cowboy.
He seems to be enjoying himself. So.
From what I've seen, he's been very fun on...
aside whatever his fucking promo was on Monday about the titles making a baby and him and Roman being wedding crashers.
Yeah.
The tiebreaker for WrestleMania. How long will Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns last? We have a variety of answers here. Jake has gone for 7.5 minutes. I have gone for 15:35.
Oh, fuck you.
Joey has gone for 20 minutes. So I'm giving Joey 20 minutes as his answer because he just literally wrote in 20 minutes. Ryan has gone for 15:15. Sam has gone for 18 minutes and 4 seconds. Okay, not fuck me anymore. I had because Angelo's answer. Rob has 23 minutes and 21 seconds.
Jesus Christ!
Angelo has 16 minutes and 8 seconds. So I'm now smushed in between Ryan's 15:15 and Angelo's 16:08. So,
wait, the only one lower than me is Jake?
Yeah, it's
with his
7:30.
Oh my god.
Okay, bonus questions. Aside from Seth Rollins' opponent, will there be any other surprise appearances during the night of either night of WrestleMania? Everybody has said yes. Which night will Vince McMahon appear on? Jake, myself, Joey, Ryan, and Rob have said both. Angelo and Sam have said night 1. Just night 1 he will appear on. Will Hulk Hogan appear at WrestleMania? I was just curious by this one, and 2 people did take the bait.
Yes.
One of those people is me.
What?
And Sam. Me and Sam have a lot of shared predictions this show. That's not
Why'd
good.
you choose this?
Why do I think Hulk Hogan's going to be there?
Yes.
Because Hulk Hogan appears at lots of WrestleManias.
I don't know. I feel like last year's WrestleMania reception for him in his own
I
state.
don't think they care.
Oh.
So I've gone for yes. Even if it's just in a backstage segment, I think Hogan will appear.
All right.
Will the 24/7 championship change hands during either night of WrestleMania? One person is on an island, and that is Rob. Rob has said no. All of us have said yes, despite them implying it with this whole wedding thing.
Yeah. There's a WrestleMania double wedding happening.
Yeah, I feel like R-Truth has to steal it.
Yeah, this is perfect time for Truth to get his baby back.
And last but not least, will any match during WrestleMania end in a DQ or countout? Jake said yes. I said no. Joey, Ryan, and Sam said yes. Rob said no. Angelo said yes.
I just figured that it's a random bonus question.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And that takes us to our last 2 things. So our punishment for this is called Movie Mania, and the loser of our WrestleMania predictions will have to watch and review 3 WWE Studios movies. Netflix's The Main Event, featuring a number of talent that have been released over the past few years. Lorraine du Ring, which is a French film by WWE Studios about a middle-aged woman training to become a wrestler because her estranged son is a huge WWE fan. And lastly, Rumble, an animated film that I believe is an exclusive on Paramount Plus from WWE Studios and Paramount about giant monsters entertaining the world with wrestling. And it features Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns, and everybody's favorite sports host, Stephen A. Smith. So that is the punishment for WrestleMania. And the last thing to go over is our other bonus points that we have, which is the Deep Six Lottery, which is we all get wrestlers assigned to us, and if they win their matches, we get bonus points. Ryan's the champion, which means he gets an extra person. So Ryan has Bianca Belair, Edge, and Austin Theory. Joey has Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch. Rob has AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar. I have Seth Rollins and Pat McAfee. Angelo has RK Bro and Charlotte Flair. Sam has the Street Profits and Seth Rollins' mystery opponent. And Jake has Roman Reigns and the Alpha Academy. So that is WrestleMania 38, all predicted in just under an hour. So good for us on that.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us for this. We will have coverage for more stuff WrestleMania weekend with Impact Wrestling's Multiverse of Matches and Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor, as well as both nights of WrestleMania. So stay tuned to the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. YouTube channel is just the Deep Six Wrestling Podcast. And follow us over on Twitter at Deep Six Wrestling without the G. All the links to our channels and social media can be found in the episode description.